Right, good afternoon, folks. We're at the bridge. We've got Hornchurch against Hemel Hempstead. Enterprise National League South. Teams are just coming out. I'll read you both starting 11s. Hornchurch. Nestor Hare, Gibbs, Reese, Wright, Weston, Pegram. New person, Alexander, Ling, Edwards, Polian. Hemel Hempstead. Johnston, Dowrich, Rowan, Lomas, Williams, Gray, Campbell, Achuba, Noel Williams, Villette, Stanley. It's a lovely sunny day, makes a nice change. Players are just lining up, going to shake hands with each other. I've got Billy up here filming it. Welcome to the Hemel Hempstead crew up here as well. And our co-commentator, Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, as you said, a lovely sunny afternoon here at the bridge. And two teams that are in form. Hemel coming into this game off the back of 4 straight wins, 12 points out of 12, and really pushing to try and get into the playoffs and attempting to finish into the top 7 for the first time since 2018. They're looking to make it 5 wins in a row. Hornchurch only 1 defeat in their last 5 games. That actually came here in our last home game against Slough, and after some would say dropping 2 points against Bath on the weekend, that further increased the gap to league leaders Dorking. A sunny Saturday and a 3 points here could prove very vital in Hornchurch's grip of second place.
This is a big game, Chris, this one, because, I mean, we have to win anyway, but if we lose, we're going to slip a couple of places and Hemel Hempstead will go above us. So it's all systems go.
100%. 100%. It's a massive game for both teams. And Hemel coming here at the bridge, a ground that they did lose at last season, with Liam Nash scoring in a 1-0 win. But as we saw in the reverse fixture this season, Hornchurch don't fear this team at all, smashing 4 past Hemel a couple of months back. So there's definitely goals that Hornchurch will look to try and score against Hemel, against the team who don't score very many often, Alan.
No, let's have a look there, Chris. What we got? We've got Hemel Hempstead 44 goals against 40. So as you say, it's on the edge. There's not much of a gap between for and against. Chris, what's your thoughts? George Alexander, new signing.
Well, coming in, 25 years old, so he's still got plenty of years ahead of him. Henry Hearn on the bench today. They'll just look for that someone with a little bit of spark to help and play alongside Dominic Polian, and I think George Alexander could be that person. He was second highest goal scorer last season with 24 goals. We did actually see a little bit of him in Eastbourne colours here at January in the Urchins' first game of 2026. Didn't really offer a lot, but 6 goals this season already for a struggling Eastbourne team who look very, very much doomed at the bottom of the table. I think it will be a successful signing, and if Polian, who scored in his home debut against Worthing, is to go by, we hope to see Alexander repeat that feat.
Balls in play. Hornchurch throw, just in their attacking half. Gets it to Alexander. Back to Hare. Goes forward down the right. That's going to be shielded by the Hemel defender. Goes off for a goal kick. Dowrich, the left back there, 8 times man of the match this season. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's obviously got some talent. It's a Hemel goal kick.
Yeah, Dowrich, who's spent a bit of time in the Isthmian League with Cray Wanderers last season alongside Remy Sutton, a name very much familiar to Hornchurch fans. And as you say, Alan, he's very much a player to watch for Hemel, one of their outstanding performers this season.
Goal kick's taken, goes off, Hemel throw. Villette scored against Tottenham last Saturday.
A name very much familiar to Hornchurch fans, Mauro Villette, as well as Barnet fans. Well over 200 appearances for the Bees in a decade. Playing at a high level. Here he is on the ball. Manages to win a corner for the away team, all in black today.
Yeah, the sun's out. The Hemel keeper has the sun in his eyes in the first half. Hemel corner on their left.
You have to go down all the way the table to 19th place Salisbury to find a team that has scored less goals than Hemel, actually.
Really, crikey. Corner comes in. Cleared. Weston hooves it. Dowrich heads to the left. All the way back to Johnson in Hemel goal. Comes forward again. On the edge of the Hornchurch box. Rates to left back Ling. Pegram all the way back to Gibbs. Kicks it forward. Alexander looks, won't get there. There's a bit of ping pong going on. Ling heads halfway line. Pegram gets the ball on the floor. It's a Hemel throw.
Well, Hornchurch looking to get the ball forward early up to Alexander, who was actually part of the Eastbourne team, as I mentioned, in January. And that was the last game before the Salisbury clean sheet in midweek, a couple of weeks ago, that Hornchurch actually did keep a clean sheet at the bridge. Looking to make a good first impression. Pegram comes away with the ball. He's got a couple of red shirts steaming forward. Oh, and Pegram just unable to find Josh Reese there. He had also Miles Weston running down the right-hand side. And a throw into the Urchins, which Sam Ling will take in front of the away bench. Hornchurch, who conceded an early penalty in their last home game against Slough, looking to start the game a little bit better than they did against the Berkshire outfit 2 weeks ago. That ball is not going to trouble the Hemel defence. Hare manages to beat Vellete. Ling just getting the better there of George Williams. Nice hold-up play from Hornchurch as they look to restart. Right to Pegram. Hemel come away with the ball.
It's in the middle of the pitch. Vellete comes out to Dowrich. Hemel clear their half. Edwards out for a header. Noel Williams challenges. Hemel throw.
Well, Hemel have already matched their away wins that they had last season of 7, and a win here would actually statistically be their best ever season at this level, their 12th season in the National League. It's a team looking to trouble Hornchurch. Dowrich's effort there, not troubling Nasta, not too far away from the angle of post and crossbar.
Hornchurch goal kick.
One thing this team do have, though, Alan, is they've conceded 11 less goals than Hornchurch. They're in the top 5 of defences in this league, so breaking this team down will be very tricky, as we saw in the first half against Slough.
Indeed. Hemel throw halfway. Weston complains. But there it is. Dowrich is going to take this throw. Rowe and Lomas offer themselves inside. Dowrich goes down the line. Here heads Vellete, getting plenty of possession early on. Ball squirts away. Ling, Hornchurch left back, sends it upfield, but Hemel gather it up. Pegram.
Nice ball. Just intercepted there. Vellete looks to find a teammate in Noel Williams. Comes back to the former dagger. Hemel happy to restart and keep possession. Vellete moving from left to right. Both of these teams on 19 victories this season. Be nice to get to 20
Hemel throw in their attacking half. Comes near the Hornchurch box. Noel Williams back to goal. Looks for support. Ball comes into the box. Headed away from Weston. Dowrich. Hemel on the attack. Valette out on the left. Back to Dowrich. Passes right across the pitch. Stanley. Williams cuts through the middle. Gets nowhere. Gibbs finds an outlet in Weston into the attacking half. Hornchurch look to attack. Back to Hare. Tom Wright has some time in the middle of the pitch. Long ball. Looking for Polian right in the corner flag. Polian looks for support. Comes back to Ling. Right. Looking a little bit stranded. Gibbs, it's come back to Gibbs.
Yeah, it looks like Hemel are not afraid to press this Hornchurch team. Reese comes away with the ball here. Alexander looking for a bit of space. His pass to Reese is a bit too far in front of him. Campbell does well. Gray finds Williams, who doesn't find a black shirt. Oh, Alexander heading into the penalty area there. He had Reese in support. The pass was just too powerful for the ex-Aldershot midfielder. But not bad play. As I said, Alan, I don't think Hemel are going to be too scared. I know Hornchurch obviously put 4 past them in the reverse fixture, but away from home, especially in the position they're in now, they'll be definitely up for pressing the home team.
Throw's taken. Reese appeals for offside, not given. Alexander back to Polian. Cuts into the area, loses the ball. Valette, possession down the middle. Noel Williams in the centre circle. Tackled by Wright, fouled by Wright.
Yeah, lovely ball retention, and a couple of the Hemel players complaining that the flag should have gone up, but lovely play from Isaiah Noel Williams, holding the ball up really well. Crowded out by 2 red and white shirts. His physical presence is going to be quite key.
Yeah, I'll take no notice of that 4-0 victory back in December, Chris. Times have changed. Hemel have improved. Just looking at their league position.
100%. I mean, the last time they were in this imperious sort of form was the start of last season, where aside from a Worthing draw, they would have won 6 games in a row. They had a very similar start to Hornchurch this season that Hemel had last season. Alexander will chase this. Unable to just get there in front of Lewis Lomas, who has arrived from Farnborough this season.
Hornchurch throw in their attacking half. Ling's going to take this in front of the away bench.
Valette and Noel Williams, the 2 top scorers currently on the pitch for Hemel Hempstead. And they'll look to both of them for an outlet today. Ling, in it comes, and it's straight to Michael Johnson, who looks to send the ball forward quickly. Hare's underneath it. The ball's not going to come to Weston. Lomas finds Valette with a nice control. Dowrich inside to Jake Gray, the former Palace man finding the former B. Noel Williams to Ramey Campbell. Valette just gets past Reese, and Valette will have an effort similar to Dowrich's, but over the bar.
This Valette looks good to me, Chris. He's busy.
Player that's scored against Hornchurch before in the Isthmian League for Wingate and Finchley.
Hornchurch goal kick. Nestor's going to take this. Players congregate on the Hornchurch right.
Well, Nathan Cooper's on the bench today. He's come up against his old team. He made 12 appearances for Hemel during lockdown. alongside the likes of Reggie Young and Southend's Gus Scott Morris. Stanley. High up in the air looking for Noel Williams, but Frankie Edwards just gets the better of Hemel's number 16. Villette can't draw a foul there from Weston. Jake Gray covers across, concedes the throw-in.
Josh Hare, down the right. Miles Weston. Hornchurch throw. Getting near to the Hemel box. Josh Hare hasn't got so many people to throw to. Very few people to throw to. Alexander makes a run. Alexander back to Hare. Cross is blocked by Villette. Hare will take the throw. Short to Weston. Ball comes into the box. Alexander's there, but it's cleared so far. Dowrich hoofs it high, off for a Hornchurch throw.
Yeah, Hornchurch look to keep the ball in that final third and keep the pressure on. Darrell would have highlighted that this defence is quite resolute and quite strong, and signing Alexander, another forward who obviously was the league's second highest goal scorer behind Tyler Harvey last season with 24. So he's used all of his available firepower in this game, Alan.
Ling, long throw into the box, headed away. It's going to be cleared by Hemel. Right, keeps it in play. Backwards and forwards. Hemel on the attack. Ball comes left. Villette tries to get past Gibbs, cuts it through to Gray, doesn't get there. Back to Villette.
Good slided challenge from Rates. Reese couldn't perform a just as efficient tackle there. Concedes the free kick. It's not a bad position. Hemel sending a couple of their players, Rowan and Lomas, up for this.
Polian stays up for Hornchurch. Stanley and Dowrich cover him. Williams will take a free kick. Players line up edge of the Hornchurch box.
Let's see what the former Welsh international and Fulham youngster can do with this. Williams takes it slow. Oh, and it was late from Jake Gray on Alexander. Hornchurch by the foul.
So he played for Wales, Chris, the fellow.
Yes. George Williams played a couple of games for Fulham in the Championship and a couple of Wales call-ups. Played alongside Gareth Bale under Chris Coleman.
Crikey. Nestor's going to take a free kick just inside the Hornchurch box. Goes under that. Alexander wins it, header, heads it on, goes straight to Johnson in the Hemel goal. Johnson, drop kick, comes to the Hemel left. Villette's under there, keeps it in play. Reese kicks it high. Alexander stays on side. Rowan heads the ball off. Hornchurch throw. On the attack. Alexander looks, but it goes inside to Weston. Back to Hare. Weston.
Space for him to pop a ball forward, looking for Hornchurch's new number 16, Alexander. They're going to have to settle for a goal kick.
Mystified. I thought that was a corner. Alexander thought it was as well. But it's a Hemel goal kick.
The only two shots in the game so far have come from distance, and Lee Allinson, who's spent 5 years at Hendon, again in step 3, will be quite happy to see Hemel try and pass their way into the final third of the Hornchurch box. As he said, despite the absence of Miller Matthews-Lewis, who obviously left a couple of weeks back, he still believes that despite the golfing goals between the two, they could pose a threat to the Urchins. Lomas using his body well against Alexander, clears it out for a throw-in.
There has the ball. Pegram makes a run. Pegram turns inside, doesn't get anywhere. Outright to Weston. Tries to cut inside the box, wins a corner.
Yeah, he took it away from Dowrich, but he recovered well.
Sarcastic cheers from the Hornchurch support. Hemel have got a few supporters, I reckon, I don't know, 50 or so, maybe a few more.
It's
They'll want a result, of course.
not the longest journey in the world from Hertfordshire.
Down the M1, isn't it? Well, in a car. Ball comes in. Hemel clear. Shot from Ling. Hemel clear again. It's high. It's bouncing around. Villette controls it on the floor. Noel Williams presses forward. No foul. Williams goes over, but no foul.
Well, a lot of people shocked, especially Noel Williams, how Weston didn't concede a foul there.
Yeah.
Momentarily, he had two other black shirts with him. A tuba. As Stanley out wide, with Pegram pressing him, takes it inside. Can't find Ramey Campbell. But that was a really good chance actually for Hemel to attack. Hare inside. Pegram. Oh, and the deflection off of Reese. The flag has gone up.
Came off Reese's offside, yeah.
Polian wasn't going to escape through that one. Polian, who's already played Hemel this season for Farnborough in a 1-0 loss for the Borough. Hemel again keeping another clean sheet. They do have more clean sheets than Hornchurch this season.
Any other scores? I can't see the screen, Chris.
Well, Maidenhead, who did beat Hornchurch 2-0 in December, have taken the lead against table toppers Dorking. We did highlight, Alan, that York Road's a tough place to go.
Yes.
Another team hunting playoff football.
Lois kicks it long for Hemel. Headed by Gibbs, Edwards. Cleared, Rowan, centre circle. Kicks it forward. Oh, there's an offside. Hemel offside. Appeals for a foul, but offside.
Yeah, Ramey Campbell just got the better of his man, but as you said there, Alan, standing in an offside position. Bit of a goal machine for Ilkeston in Step 4 a couple of years ago, helping them.
Who's that, Chris?
Ramey Campbell helping Ilkeston winning the title in 2022 with 87 goals, and he scored a few important goals for Basford as well in Step 3 to help them survive.
Here we go. Hornchurch going to take a free kick for that offside. Nesta kicks it down the Hornchurch left, headed on by Alexander. Pegram back to goal, needs support. Polian out on the Hornchurch left. Hornchurch need a bit of space.
Ling does well, but can't keep balance. Concedes the throw in, which Stanley will take.
Down the line. Campbell doesn't get there. Alexander gives it to Villette. Tries to pass it forward. Gibbs shields forward. And he's kicked it off for a goal kick to Hemel.
Yeah, Harry Gibbs got in the way of that pass. He's tasted success against Hemel before. 2 seasons ago with Averley, captaining them to a double against the Reds here today. It's been a close encounter so far. Well, sort of midway through this first half. Game of very few chances. Yet to see either keeper really being worked here, Alan.
Yeah, fair point, Chris. I haven't seen, keepers haven't been extended. Goldmail's challenge, still waiting for that to happen really.
Yeah, the two number 8s getting at each other, and it's Hornchurch's that comes out on top.
Oh, the refs. Well, he's getting the thing taken in the right place. Edwards is going to take a free kick for Hornchurch. Looks to go long. Pegram's there, it goes out to Weston. Dowrich challenges. Off for a Hornchurch throw, which Hare is going to take. Pegram makes a run, doesn't get the ball. Hare needs a little bit of support. All running away from him. Come back. Reese Pegram come back in. Off again. Hornchurch throw. The Chuba putting it out of play. Here to Reese, back to Hare. Cuts inside, it's all needs some space there. Reese, right, with space, edge of the box, comes out right to Hare. Chips it near the 6-yard box. Rowan heads. Hemel clear.
Reese just couldn't get the ball under the control there. Alan, he was stretching to try and maybe potentially get a shot off, but that's a nice play to head the ball back to Michael Johnson.
Yeah, again, no clear-cut shots on goal. Ball comes long, Gibbs under it, Campbell challenges. Right, loses the ball.
Nicked off of him, and it's played through, and Romain Campbell opens the scoring at the bridge. And Tom Ray had his pocket picked by Noel Williams. It was an intelligent pass inside to Campbell, who had made a bit of space for himself, and Campbell makes it 1-0 to the Tudors here in this battle for the playoffs.
Here we are again, Chris. We're 1-0 down. I'm thinking 2 weeks ago we were 1 down to Slough. It's not good.
And that goal temporarily propels Hemel Hempstead into second.
25 minutes gone. Hornchurch 0, Hemel 1. Got to see something happen here, Chris. Not sure what, but this has got to stop.
Well, Campbell has scored in some really big games. Worthing and Farnborough, as I mentioned earlier, can add this one to that list as well. And with this defence that we know Hemel have, it could be very difficult for Hornchurch to use a key to unlock it. Still plenty of time in this first half though. But for Lee Allenson, he must feel jubilant on that Hemel bench. Campbell felt he was fouled by Edwards. Play goes on. Noel Williams up against the former Chelmsford man, Frankie Edwards. Noel Williams looks to get the better of him. Noel Williams' cross can't find a black shirt in the area. But the intent is still there from Allenson's team.
So Hemel have gone second.
An amazing achievement for this team, who have been biding their time, and obviously, as I said, they're looking to make it 5 consecutive wins in a very crucial part of the season where the playoffs are starting to take shape. Still a couple of teams below that vital 7th place that are looking to challenge. Hemel look to put as much distance between that as possible. Polian can't find Reese. Dowrich does well. Chuba rather. And Polian concedes a foul and an early booking for the attacker.
It was a late tackle. Polian's come over to the right, moving from the left. Free kick to Hemel. Villett's over the ball, just inside their attacking half.
Well, the last team away to come here and keep a clean sheet was Dover. back in the early part of the season. Weston looks to clear it, hoping Alexander can chase it. Hemel look to be the second team in around about 4 or 5 months to keep a clean sheet here, which is difficult. Samling turns inside Jake Gray. Weston, who as Alan mentioned is out on the left now, takes on Williams. Weston runs it out of play. And it's a goal kick which Johnson will take.
Yeah, Weston Polian have swapped. Johnson with a goal kick for Hemel. Henry Sander out for 1 game. This is the game he's suspended for.
Yeah, well, who knows what sort of difference he would have made, but any sort of suspension or any teammate missing is always going to be a hamper to a side pushing for promotion such as Hornchurch. Hemel, who I've mentioned earlier, have lost the goals that Miller Matthew Lewis has scored throughout the season. Taking the lead here, they may have found his replacement in Vermey Campbell, who spent time in the north for Hereford. Jake Gray up against Reese, and Reese does well to get his body in the way, turn it out for a corner.
Williams goes over to take this corner for Hemel. Over on their right, Rowan moves up, Stanley stays back.
Let's see what Williams can conjure up from this corner. Few boys from the back, as Alan mentioned, up for it. In it comes, right-footed. And a little effort there.
On target, straight to Nesta.
Yeah, not a bad effort. Lewis Lomas. Swing a foot at it, and Nesta managed to collect it efficiently. Polian heads it to Reese, who pops it back to Polian. Wins a foul off of Dowrich.
I think the fans will want to see a booking because Polian was booked, but no booking given. Just free kick to Hornchurch in their attacking half near the Hemel box. Josh Hare over the ball. Players line up edge of the box. Villette, one man wall.
Chance for Hare to swing this in, right-footed. Let's see if he can pop a good ball into that crucial area. So Hare's delivery. It's quite poor by his standards. Pegram looks to send it out left. Headed on by Ling. And out by Rowan. The ex-Orient man will get the ball back again. Weston up against Williams. Weston ends up turning him temporarily. Ling and Weston's little 1-2 game can't stay within the lines.
Not many outlets, you know. Hornchurch, they need to present more for the play with the ball.
You know, coming into this game, you look at the stats, and maybe that's what they would have expected. We mentioned earlier about how solid Hemel's defence is, and they're really not letting Alexander and Polian and Weston get a lot of time on the ball, even in midfield. Reese and Pegram are just having to take a few extra touches. There's no real clear outlets, as he said.
Then goes down the line. Cleared by Hemel. Josh Hare heads it back. Looks for Pegram. Stanley heads.
It's missed, and Alexander. Nice challenge from Rowan. Dowrich can try and lead the Tudors away. Hare against Campbell. Hare's won that duel, and Raitt gives it back to Gibbs. Stanley, efficient, heads it to Williams, who loses his foot in but retains the ball. Devante Stanley. It's not going to find Campbell, and Hornchurch can recharge and start again. Nice touch inside from Ling. Just couldn't find Pegram. Oh, and the block from Ling has reached Weston. Achuba with a very good sliding clearance.
Hornchurch throw. Ling's out there. Is he going to take a long throw? Winding up for one. Let's hope it doesn't go straight to the goalkeeper.
We've just sorting a couple of things out with the two number 5s on the pitch today, Gibbs and Ronan. Ronan, who has been promoted from this league with Oxford City before in 2022.
35th minute. Hornchurch 1 goal down. Ling with a long throw. Comes into the 6-yard box, pushing and shoving. Corner ball. Hornchurch on their left with a corner.
Yeah, I was looking for Harry Gibbs, but he was a little bit off balance and leaning back. Let's see what Rake can conjure up here from this left side.
Ball comes into the area. Edwards heads. Oh, and it's gone over the bar from Alexander.
That's the best chance in the first half that Hornchurch have had. Good persistence from Edwards to win the header. Alexander just couldn't keep it down. Not a bad little opening. First of the game for the Urchins.
Don't think we've had a shot on goal. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope, you're completely correct. A game, a few chances, and if I'm being honest, I think that's what Hemel would have liked here today.
Yeah.
They've taken advantage of Tom Ray having a little bit too much time on the ball. We highlighted their pressing early on. Edwards and Campbell tugging away at each other, but he gets the ball out to Weston, and is Alexander onside? It's not going to matter. Johnson collects the ball.
Johnson drop kick. Gibbs looks to head that. Hare at right back. Looks up. Looks across pitch.
Lovely.
Weston chests it off to Ling. Harry Gibbs comes across the pitch with a hospital pass. Villette picks it up gratefully, but Edwards saves the day.
Well, Villette didn't really cover Noel Williams in a bit of glory with that pass. Edwards is at the right place at the right time there to help Hornchurch out, otherwise it's a 3-on-3. Johnson gives it straight to Reese, but again another suspect touch. Gibbs and Ling linking up well to clear it, but it's
free kick to Hornchurch. Ling taken down at left back. It's going to be a Hornchurch free kick. Ref needs it taken in the right place. Johnson is down, the Hemel keeper. Wants a bit of treatment. So breaking play, Hornchurch go and get a drink, as do Hemel.
Well, McMahon will be speaking to his players who want a little bit more going forward. As we just saw Alexander's chance, the first that Hornchurch have had. So he'll want the ball to be played to the likes of Polian and Alexander. Get that ball into that 18-yard box. See if any shot that could test the experienced Johnson in the Hemel net. But Allenton's team really, really pleased with the way they've been playing. They've always looked to pounce on loose passes that Hornchurch have created for themselves. They look like they've got a bit of firepower up front with Noel Williams, Campbell, Villette using his experience. And as we mentioned earlier, they've got a really good defence. So the former St Albans keeper up on his feet. Over 200 appearances at this level, Michael Johnson, one of the most experienced keepers out of the 24 teams in this league. Keeping over 60 clean sheets. Very good record.
Here we go, we're back in play. Nesta's going to take a free kick for Hornchurch. Players gather on Hornchurch left. Alexander doesn't win that one. And there's a foul. Hemel have a free kick.
There's plenty of time to Hornchurch to get themselves back into this game, but they need that one sort of outlet, as Alan mentioned, that one key pass that will drive the Urchins forward, because it's just a black wall that they're reaching at the moment, really.
Gibbs heads it off. Hemel throw on the halfway.
And this is a team that has kept more clean sheets than Hornchurch this season, so it's going to be really difficult to shut this or unlock this team. Stanley looking for Campbell, but Edwards will head that. Jake Gray keeping it alive for the Tudors. Villette just about beaten to it by Josh Hare. And a foul goes the Urchins' way. Polian being held by a tuba.
Ball goes long, looks for Alexander. Pegram. Dowrich clears. Hair up in the air. And it's gone off for Hornchurch. Throw, same Ling. Looks for support. And instead he's going to take a long throw. Gibbs used to take them, but he's not, which means Gibbs is now right on the goalkeeper. Ball comes in, Gibbs back to Ling. He'll look to cross it in. Ball comes into the box. Cleared by Dowrich. Williams comes back into the box. No one there.
Ling does well. And he'll find a teammate in Gibbs. Gibbs with a low pass. Just failed to reach the feet of Alexander. Johnson will collect in what's been a fairly tame first half in front of goal for the Urchins. Johnson's not had much to do. Neither has Nasta, except for pick the ball out of his net. Gibbs letting the ball bounce. Hare puts his foot through it. Alexander keeping the ball well. Loses out to Lomas. Right to Pegram. Can he drive forward? He's got Noel Williams tracking him down. Not a bad ball in for Miles Weston. It's going to be a corner. Another opportunity to get the ball into the box, Alan.
Yeah, let's get a goal. 41 minutes gone. Hornchurch 0. Hemel Hempstead 1.
Just shows how close the playoffs is, that goal for Maidenhead and obviously the goal for Hemel here drops the Urchins down to 5th.
Ball comes into the box. Who's under there? Edwards heads, but fouls. It's a free kick to Hemel.
Edwards adjudged to have fouled Luis Lomas.
I hope, Chris, we're not looking at a slippery slope. You know, it won't be long before we're out of the playoff zone.
It is very tight, and you look at the next couple of fixtures. Final 3 away games for Hemel this season aren't exactly easy as well. Dorking, Torquay and Enfield.
But it might be a good thing for them if they're playing those teams. They've got the chance.
Especially if they put performances like they're doing in this first half. Campbell loses out to Hare. On the flip side, Alan, April is such a season-defining month for this team, especially here at the Bridge.
Oh, yeah. And this is a team that's coming into form. They could be the ones to take it. Dowrich with a throw for Hemel on the attack. Gibbs clears from his area. Reese goes right to Josh Hare. Comes down the line. Looks for Alexander, who sadly... No. I thought that was it's a Hornchurch throw.
Yeah, the Urchins rather bought that throw in there.
Yeah. Hare looks. Reese back to Hare. Back to Reese. Opens his body up. Goes down the line. Polian won't get there. Weston down in the corner. Needs support somehow. He's crowded out. Villette comes away. Again, no outlet. Gibbs, Edwards on the halfway.
They've been doing that. They've been doubling up on these flanks. Edwards with the ball forward. Polian. Judged to have fouled Lewis Lomas, I believe it might have been. Very frustrating first half for the Urchins, especially for the two boys up front, Alexander and Polian, who have had very little service.
Johnson with the free kick. Coming to the 45. Hornchurch 0, Hemel 1.
Worthing take the lead at Totten, who recently lost their manager Jimmy Ball to Torquay. So again, another cog in the playoff machine being turned. Weston lets the ball bounce, takes it away from Villette. Wright lays it off to Josh Hare. Frankie Edwards looks to find Alexander. Dowrich deals with it. Stanley. Weston finds Hare. Josh Reese. His pass is short. Campbell's all on his own. Taken down by Edwards. Lovely use of the body from Campbell. Edwards did have his hands on him. And from nothing, Campbell's bought a free kick for the Tudors.
We're on the 45. Villette stands over the ball in Hemel's attacking half. Quite a way out. Alexander, one-man wall. Players on the edge of the box. One hand raised from Villette. Cross comes in. Edwards heads. Alexander shields and clears and is fouled. Hornchurch free kick just outside their box. Is that Campbell getting the booking? I think it was
Villette.
Villette, was it?
Strong challenge there on the number 16, Alexander. Looks like both of them may have come off a little bit worse for wear. They'll run it off. But Villette's been very instrumental in this first half.
He has. Nestor takes the free kick. Who's under there? Weston heads it on. Dowrich will clear. Campbell, Edwards, Stanley. Back to Campbell. Out to Villette. Doesn't get it through to Campbell. Josh Hare goes short. Weston, Polian looks for support. Turns inside. Still needs support. Back to Edwards. Kicks it forward, looking for Alexander, who gets it back to Johnson. Complaints that Alexander was being held.
Yeah, it's good marking. It's a combination of good marking and physical marking, really. They know how lethal he is in front of goal. 2 minutes left, added on as stoppages at the end of this first half. In a half where Hornchurch in the last few minutes just trying to come up with some new ideas, maybe one more chance before the end of this half potentially. But Hemel doing what they can. Hare beats Villette. Hare on a little bit of a driving run. Pegram. Samling. Oh, and Allenton complains there that one of his players was taken out off the ball. Hemel can get away. Noel Williams slips, but he's got Williams right there to help him out. Again, a little bit of a tug there on Josh Reese and again on Alexander, and that's going to end up in the feet of Michael Johnson again. Underwhelming first half from the team occupying second place, but a very, very efficient team, efficient first half rather, from the team as it stands in second place.
Tom Wright heads. Rowan heads it back. Hornchurch throw, Josh Hare. defending half goes along the line, looks for Weston, who won't get there. Gray knocks it on. Villette, long ball straight to Nesta.
Maybe one more chance. Nesta's going to have to send this forward, or Harry Gibbs rather, just before that half-time whistle sounds. But a solid first half from Hemel. Right. Edwards. Here's Hare. Sends it back to Edwards. Pegram comes short. Buys the foul off of a tuba.
Well, this will surely be the last move of the first half. Josh Hare on the halfway. Let's see if we can get a goal. Hare kicks it over. Hornchurch left. Gibbs is under there. Won't get it. Rowan wins it. Wright gets it on the floor. And it's off for a Hornchurch throw. Sam Ling will look to throw it long.
It seems that there's a little bit of an urgency to get this goal. Hornchurch do have an entire second half, but feels like at this point in the game a goal here would be crucial already. In it comes. Launched in. It reaches a black shirt, Ronan. Laid down. Ling. Up against Noel Williams. It's going to be a corner.
Corner, ref's going to allow time for the corner.
It's fair game. Hemel would not love to concede a goal just before half-time. The ascendancy pendulum could swing the other way if that does happen. So here we go, Tom Wright. In it comes. Not a bad effort from George Alexander to end this first half. Alexander, the only man for the Urchins that's had two headers, both off target. Not the greatest half in front of goal, but Hemel have been pretty solid at the back, building up play midfield fairly well, and they got their just reward, taking advantage of a bit of lapse of concentration from Tom Wright. Noel Williams slid through Ramey Campbell, who slid through Arthur Nasta to put the Tudors 1-0 up in a very, very confident first half for the away team. Hemel lead Hornchurch 1-0 at the break.
Right, my friends, here we are. Second half is about to begin. Hornchurch, as we stand here, are kicking right to left. So Arthur Nastor has the sun in his eyes. Strong sun. Beautiful afternoon. Sunny day. Excuse me. Hornchurch 0. Hemel Hempstead 1. Hornchurch were out early, warming up. It's as if they've been sent out to do something about this. And Hemel Hempstead have the kick to start the second half off.
Doesn't look like a change has been made
Can't see any.
for both sides, but either way, Allenson has got to be happy with this first half, the former Hendon manager. It's a half of solidarity, togetherness, and they've really stayed compact, especially in that defence. Williams will try and chase this, but Nastor wearing the cap comes out to retrieve.
Nestor kicks. Looking for Pegram. Stanley wins the header. Dowrich kicks it on. Campbell is fouled by Gibbs just inside the Hemel attacking half. The referee wants to speak to Harry Gibbs.
Wow.
No card, just a conversation.
Looked like Campbell turned Gibbs there, but whether it be a hand or an arm, stopped Campbell in his tracks. Early chance for Stanley to get this in for Hemel Hempstead.
I daren't go 2 goals down, Chris. That could be bad news.
Yeah, McMahon can't really rely on the powers of recovery in every game. Plays it to Jake Gray. Gray in. Sliced from Harry Gibbs, but it works out. And Alexander can find Miles Weston.
On to Hare, down the right for Hornchurch. On the attack, crosses the ball in, but it's gone off for a corner. To Hornchurch on their right. Tom Wright jogs across. In the shadows over there on the far side to us. See if we can get a goal there, Chris. Ball comes over into the 6 yard, headed away by Rowan. Ball's up in the air, cleared by Campbell. Comes right out, Hare, Villette. Hare kicks it off for a Hemel throw. We're on the halfway. Dowrich is going to go down the line. Looks for Campbell. Villette has it. Wins another throw. Hemel now well inside their attacking half. Is there a long throw person? Dowrich comes across. Long throw coming in. Players congregate in the 6 yard box. Dowrich right into the 6 yard, headed by Edwards.
Reese's
half cleared
clearance.
by Reese.
Not great there. In it comes again. Villette with a little header on.
Oh, that was very close.
Well, all it needed was the touch of a black shirt. Hornchurch managed to see the ball out for a corner.
Campbell, an inch away from putting Hemel 2-0 up.
Fine margins. How close could that attempt sway into the favour of Hornchurch potentially?
Corner to Hemel. Williams will take this. Ball comes over, headed away by Weston. Dowrich looks to put it back in the box. Gibbs heads, and ball's not away. Villette into the box, but Wright clears. It's very messy. Weston on the halfway. Won't beat Stanley. It's a Hornchurch throw on the halfway. Ling to take. Who's there? Pegram, Alexander. Challenge for the ball. Alexander heads it on, so it goes off for a Hemel throw. Stanley with the ball. There's Campbell along the line. Williams is there. Gibbs wins the header. Back to Stanley though. It's high in the air. Gibbs and Campbell under it. And Gibbs shields it off for a Hornchurch throw.
Hemel looking to work Hornchurch just as hard in this second half as they did in the first to try and get an opening.
Long throw. Williams wins. Gibbs heads off. Hemel throw in their attacking half.
Looks like a couple of Hornchurch changes being readied by McMahon. He reckons that change is imminent. Stanley. Vellete out jumps there, and now Hornchurch can try and break with Weston. Pegram. Stanley charging down. He takes the ball past him. Alexander helping Pegram out. And now the Hornchurch can restart. Josh Hare. Triple change it is that's being readied. Lewis Lomas will clear the ball.
Josh Hare, Hornchurch throw in front of their bench. Pegram shields the ball. Turns inside. Needs some sort of an outlet.
Reese does well.
Tricks
Nice
on the
feet.
edge of the box.
Corner kick.
Corner to Hornchurch.
Will these three changes happen before or after the corner? It looks like it might be after.
Tom Wright is going to take a corner. Let's see if we can get a goal from a corner. Ball comes in, headed on, goes back to Wright. Puts the ball back in the 6 yard, headed away by Campbell. Comes back into the keeper, Johnson.
Powerful duel. And it ends up with Hemel having a player down. McMahon heading over to his changes, it looks like. Assigning a couple of instructions.
Who can we see there, Chris? I can see McQueen, Phillips and Hearn. Ready to come on.
Napoleon does come off. And as he said, looks like Henry Hearn is coming on. Charlie Pegram coming off for Darren McQueen. Hearn did score in our last home game against Slough, as well as Darren McQueen. Both our goal scorers from a fortnight ago coming on.
Subs made, nearly 10 minutes gone of the second half. Hornchurch 0, Hemel 1.
Change at the back as well. McMahon taking off Frankie Edwards, who's put himself about, and Giles Phillips coming on.
Johnson in goal for Hemel. Takes a drop kick. Campbell's under it. Gibbs heads though. Dowrich, Hare. Bit of ping pong going on. Who's got it on the floor?
Lomas out to Vellete, but his drive is intercepted. Weston takes on Dowrich. Lomas is there to sweep up. Not very well though. Alexander with a bit of space. Darren McQueen just come on, has an effort, and that's the closest that Hornchurch have come. And another player going down. Alexander keeps his feet. Henry Hearn had a bite of the cherry as well. Hornchurch springing into life in the last 20 seconds or so. But now Williams with only Campbell ahead of him. Ling does well to track. Noel Williams and Williams working well. From one Williams to another. His low ball is a little bit underwhelming. Ronan does well. And it's going to be a foul Hornchurch way. Well,
let's hope these subs continue that one, Chris. McQueen and Hearn trying to get stuck in.
Yeah, Alexander also went down in the penalty area. I'm not too sure how much contact there was there, but Hornchurch's best attack in the game forced Johnson into a save there.
Weren't too many appeals for a penalty.
Yeah, but exactly what McMahon wanted from his substitutions, though. First time we've seen that solid defence broken. And if I'm being honest, Lomas might have had a little bit of the blame there. His clearance went straight to Alexander.
Hemel free kick in their defending half. Reese committing a foul.
Hemel look to make it 5 wins in a row. If they do win this game, second clean sheet in a row as well, and all take their clean sheet tally to 14, I believe. Looking long for Campbell. Villette was up there as well. It's going to be a throw in to the Tudors.
Dowrich will take the throw. Yeah, Hemel have got Bath on Tuesday, and then next Saturday they've got Dorking.
2 big games. Bath looking to try and survive. And obviously Dorking league leaders at the moment. Headed away by Phillips. Chuba. And still, Hornchurch managed to clear it eventually. Alexander puts his foot through. Weston can't get it back to former Slough man Alexander.
Villette, it's all happening on the Tudor left. Rowan comes into the middle. Stanley kicks it really long out to the right. Williams chases, won't get there. Goal kick to Hornchurch.
This midfield for Hemel has been really, really aggressive, working hard, the likes of Gray and Achuba. Noel Williams dropping in as well. They've tried to keep the width with Villette and Williams, make the pitch as wide as possible, forcing Hornchurch to do a lot of work, a lot of running. Hemel themselves prepared to do that, and at the moment they're reaping their rewards.
Okay, Hornchurch free kick. Gibbs kicks it down the Hornchurch right. Looks for Weston. Dowrich is on him. Weston can't keep it in play. Hemel throw. Dowrich looks down the line. Rowan. Bouncing around, McQueen just gets there. McQueen chases, he's quick.
Nice.
Won't get there. Noel Williams shields the ball down in the corner. Squirts out. Reese, McQueen needs either support. Goes back to Wright. Wright crosses the ball in. Who's there? Alexander claims a foul. Not given, it's in the hands of Johnson.
Yeah, it was nice work from Darren McQueen and Tom Wright, putting a decent ball in there. Alexander failed to get goal side of his man. Done a good job of chesting it back to Johnson under pressure.
Here we go, Hornchurch in their own half. Villette puts it out, it's a Hornchurch throw. As they creep into their attacking half, or hair down the line. Looks for Hearn, doesn't get there.
Achuba driving forward, gets past Reese. Chuba tries to find Williams, but Ling has got a bit of green grass to run into. McQueen under pressure, gets the ball to Gibbs. Gibbs was looking long momentarily there. Needs a hand, finds Darren McQueen. The former Dulwich man finds Tom Raitt, whose ball towards Ling is cut out by Stanley. Johnson just gets there before Alexander.
Johnson drop kick. Campbell, Gibbs, Wright's heads. Chuba gets it to Villette.
Nice.
Gets it out to the right. Williams, edge of the Hornchurch box, inside the box to Villette. Villette again, will he shoot? Blocked by Reese. Williams out on the right for Hemel. Turns, gets support from Gray. Back to Williams. Comes back to Stanley. Hemel regroup. No one pressuring Stanley.
All the time in the world to try and find a pass towards Villette. And his
Goes
acrobatic cross earns himself a corner. You can just see there Hemel looking up, taking their time. Hornchurch under pressure.
Hemel corner, Williams to take. Ball comes across, Rowan runs, but Gibbs clears. Reese has time to look up, give a pass to Hearn on the halfway. McQueen gets it on the ground, goes right to Reese. Runs with the ball, down the right for Hornchurch. Hearn on the right wing, runs. Tries to cut inside the box and wins. A corner for Hornchurch.
Nice persistence from Hearn. On the right side against Dowrich. Johnson being crowded out on that goal line by Reese and Hearn.
Right, sends the ball into the 6 yard, headed away. Headed away again. Ling Shields looks for a pass. Comes to Wright on the right. Crosses the ball into the box, headed away by Dowrich. Ling outright to Wright. Ling looks up, goes forward, cross to the edge of the box. Gibbs heads it in. Header by Alexander goes off.
Well, Ling to Gibbs was a brilliant ball. Gibbs to Alexander was a brilliant header. Alexander just couldn't find that bottom corner. Again, getting closer from the new acquisition from Eastbourne. But still, 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline for Hemel. They'll want that second goal. They'll want that breathing space. Hornchurch especially here. And they'll know from that 4-0 defeat that they can score. And they've got this willingness to try and fight back, which we've seen a number of times this season, especially at the Bridge.
It's a Hemel throw. Just inside their attacking half. Dowrich has the ball. Comes down the line, Campbell looks, Phillips heads. And it's a Hornchurch free kick. We need a goal, Chris. The time's ticking away. About 20 minutes in, Hornchurch 0, Hemel 1.
Flicked on. Weston and Alexander fighting for the ball. They'll settle for a corner though. Dorking, as well as Hornchurch, the only team losing. Worthing fairly comfortable against Totton. Ebbsfleet also taking the lead against Western Supermare. Wright will take this corner. Dangerous! Just couldn't find Alexander there. Headed up by a Truba. Further cleared by Williams. The ball back in will try and tease Harry Gibbs. Right. Up against Noel Williams. He's got Weston out for support. Great continuing his run outside.
Loses out, Craig clears. Campbell. Nesta comes right out of his goal to clear, sends it forward. Gray
Lomas
tries to defend, it's gone to Weston.
Lomas cannot let that bounce. Dowrich does brilliantly though against Weston. Wins a brilliant goal kick.
Goal kick to Hemel.
They've made their own luck, Hemel, especially in this second half where Hornchurch have introduced a little bit more firepower, starting to put the hammer down a little bit and take it to this Hemel defence. And with the firepower that's up front now for Hornchurch, all it takes is one clear opportunity.
Reese on the ball for Hornchurch. Tries to find Hearn. Alexander doesn't get anywhere. Right, looks for Hearn. Hornchurch trying to pace an attack together, but Reese sends it off for a Hemel throw. Hemel in their defending half. Dowrich along the line. Campbell tries. Goes off Phillips, another Hemel throw. Not many opportunities for Dowrich. Players are waiting for it to come to them. Gibbs semi-clears, up in the air from Alexander. Williams, McQueen threads the ball.
Reese. He's got Weston outside of him. Uses the former Brentford man, but a Tuba can come away with the ball. Gray. Gray wisely turns back to Stanley. Williams. Hemel know that time is ticking away. They know they've got a bit of time and they're linking up the play well, as you can see there with Campbell and Noel Williams, but he fails to keep it in.
Looking with a throw for Hornchurch. Ref sends him back. Ling at left back. McQueen's there. Alexander's there. One by Dowrich. Goes into the middle. Williams onto Campbell. Williams heads inside to Villat. High in the air. Campbell chases. Gibbs is under it.
Oh, he's not going to... He's going to have to be
careful.
careful.
It out for a Nesta goal kick. Need something to happen here. Nesta, cap on. Kicks long, Reese is under there. Onto Alexander, shields the ball. Can't get the ball free. Phillips goes forward. Weston looks for it, but Dowrich heads it to Villette. Back to Dowrich. Noel Williams. Josh Hare. No, Phillips. Back to Nesta.
Hornchurch having a lot of the ball in this second half. Plenty of chance to resource and attack. Hare. Reese takes it down well, but loses that to a Tuba who's been brilliant in the second half. But his ball again reaches Nasta for take two.
Goes long. Hearn's under it. Doesn't win. Villette keeps it in play. Kicks along the line. Campbell's there. Shields back to Noel Williams. One by Phillips. Reese tries to get forward.
Nice.
McQueen, centre circle.
Oh, he loses out to Williams. Is Campbell onside? Even himself, he held his run. Hornchurch get away with one, especially McQueen. Williams sliding Campbell through. He did look offside. He felt it. His body language told the whole story. And the linesman saves the Urchins.
Nestor kicks it long. Villette Shields kicks it up to Campbell. Phillips.
He's got the better of him.
Still in play. Phillips.
Lovely from Campbell. Noel Williams. Nice work from all three. Good work from Gibbs, but Noel Williams earned that corner. Lovely play from May Campbell. It's been a brick wall up front for Hemel today. Taking it to the defenders, tugging away at each other.
Hemel corner, Villette's over there. Players spread in the 18-yard box. Lomas, Rowan have moved up. Gray on the edge of the box. Ball comes in. Phillips clears. Only as far as Williams. Looks to get the ball to Villette, who crosses the ball in. Headed away by Hare. Weston inside to Alexander, who is fouled. Hornchurch free kick. Just outside their own box. Nestor kicks it long. Who's there? Hearn's there. Weston gets the ball down. Threads it through to Hearn. Crosses the ball in the box. Saved by Rowan, only as far as Weston.
Not a bad ball in. Stanley heads it out for a corner.
Come on, we've got to score something here, Chris.
Let's see what Wright can conjure up here. Phillips and Gibbs coming up from the back.
Just seems to get cleared every time from these corners. Let's stick a head on the end of it. Ball comes in. And it's gone nowhere. McQueen sweeps it up, edge of the box. And gets pulled down.
That's not a bad position. Nice run from McQueen. Villette and the ref having a bit of a conversation about that decision. But it's resulted in a good free kick around about 25 yards out. And this is a chance for Hornchurch to test the fists of Johnston.
Yeah, it's in the middle, so there's no real angle. I can see a 4-5-man Hemel wall. Let's see what we can do here. Hush goes around the ground.
Well, Tom Wright, left-footed.
Players are called back by the referee to get the 10 yards.
We've yet to see a free kick scored at the Bridge this season.
Is that blimey, Chris? I didn't realise that, Chris.
Only for the opposition. Gibbs is also standing in front of this. What's he got in his locker?
Whistle goes. Tom Wright kicks straight to the keeper.
An effort on target for Hornchurch. But if he's been harsh on himself, he would have liked to have tested the keeper a little bit more. Stanley.
Ball goes off, Hornchurch throw. It's about half an hour gone. Hornchurch 0, Hemel 1.
And this defence that we've talked about, only conceding 40, top 5 in the league. Everything we've talked about, everything we've seen about this Hemel team is coming into fruition.
Hornchurch throw as they get into their attacking half. Sam Ling looks to wind up a long throw. Harry Gibbs gets himself in the box. action stations. Sam Ling.
A little bit of Armstone in the box. Ling launches it. Well, Velete comes away and buys an important foul. And Tom Raitt, who was right in the referee's face, is going to get a silly booking. Velete really has done well for Hemel. Took him out of a position of potential danger there.
Yeah, Tom Raitt agreed because he collided with the ref. Tom Raitt having a moan up to the referee, but gets a booking.
He needs to be a bit careful, Raitt. He's already been booked. He doesn't want to talk himself into a red card.
Johnson is going to take a free kick for Hemel.
You cannot complain at the way that Hemel have managed this game. That's going to go long and potentially reach Campbell. Kicks it out for throw-in. But I'm just talking about the management of the game from Hemel. They've done well. They've ridden a little bit of Hornchurch pressure, but nothing outstanding really to test Michael Johnson. And that Hemel door still hasn't been broken down yet.
Josh Hare with a throw. Goes along the line. Alexander can't get there. Again, Hornchurch throw. We're on the halfway.
Dorking Wanderers 2-0 down at York Road now. As Hemel prepare a substitution. Their first of the game.
Goes down the line. Comes into the centre circle. Campbell. Ling looks for Alexander. Tries to head it onto Hearn. Weston on the edge of the Hemel box. Twists and turns. Ball comes in, headed away by Rowan, headed on by Williams. Williams
he's got the better
of Ling.
Couple of red shirts coming back. It's a 4-on-5, but Williams is on the outside. Up against Gibbs, still Williams. Oh, and unfortunately, as Darren McQueen wins a very important foul there. Hemel players just getting in each other's way there, Alan. Let off, really.
Yeah, it was a bit dicey. Hornchurch have a free kick. Nestor will take it. It's just outside their box.
It's going to be a change for Hemel then. So Mauro Velete, who has been instrumental, he's been brilliant for the Tudors today. He departs, and on comes another attacker in his place.
Lorenzen Jones comes on for Velete.
Change in midfield then, rather.
Here we go, Nestor. Looks for Alexander. He gets the head, but up in the air. McQueen tries. Lomas shields.
He's done well. The ball breaks to Hearn, but slapstick defending really. But Hemel managed to clear it. Jack Jones, who's just come on, joined from the Luton Academy, the same academy that Aidan Francis Clark and Jack Bateson, his current teammate, came through.
Phillips goes up. Get the big men in the box. Sam Ling's going to take a long throw.
Got to make these long throws count. There's definitely weapons in that penalty area. Ling looking for Phillips. It will reach the former dagger. Ling sends it back in. Flicked on by Harry Gibbs. Very delicately. But again, not to another red and white shirt. And it's just a case of wrong place at the right time, really.
About 35 gone. Hornchurch are still 1-0 down. Johnson with a goal kick. Players group on the Hemel left.
Well, if Hornchurch are going to equalise in this game, they're really going to have to be efficient, taking their chances in front of goal. Hemel making their first change in midfield one. Seem like they want to tighten up at the back. Henry Hearn could have the bounce of the ball here. Takes it back inside, but Achuba will do well, but he's lost that to Reese. Reese And a cross comes in towards the back post, but Johnson, with his safe hands, his experienced hands, takes the ball from the sky. Everything going well for Hemel. Calculated, precise. Oh, and Lomas has let that bounce and almost in the path of Weston. And Johnson's clearance is probably the only wrong thing that Hemel have done today.
I think so. Dodgy clearance, it's gone off for a Hornchurch throw. Near the Hemel box, again Ling, he's over on the right side now to take a long throw.
See what they can conjure up here again.
These just seem to get cleared all the time. We've got to get a Hornchurch head on it. He throws it short to Weston. Ref wants it retaken. He's dealing with something in the box.
Yeah, these little breaks in play is really going to break up the momentum, and that's not what a trailing team needs, especially with time ticking on. Efficiency is the name of the game as we enter the last 10. Ling. Gibbs wins the flick on, but it's cleared away by, I believe that might have been Williams. It's back in. The header's one at the back post, but Sam Ling can't find a teammate. Frustrating.
Ineffective. Goal kick to Hemel.
And Hornchurch, who were a little bit frustrated last Saturday against Bath. Remember, they've had a whole week to recover. They're being frustrated against another team in Hemel with aspirations of their own. Alexander flicks onto Reese, looking to find Hearn, and again dealt well by the defence.
Hornchurch throw. Josh Hare right back, just inside Hornchurch attacking half. He's down the line, Weston. Ball doesn't get anywhere. Right heads it forward.
Oh, Ronan absolutely let McQueen, who's boss there. Gibbs up towards Hearn. Lomas standing his ground well. Again, Rowan absolutely commanding that defence.
Yeah, good luck to him. I thought they were good headers.
Here's Jones. Stanley. Stanley pointing Williams to make a run. Sends him on his way, but Nasta's going to reach the ball. Has to concede a throw-in. Couple of big headers there from the captain, Charlie Rowan.
Yeah. Hemel throw. Near the Hornchurch box. Stanley jogs slowly.
A second goal for Hemel. You would think Alan would put the game potentially beyond the reach.
I think so, Chris. Yeah, down the line. Noel Williams in the corner. Off for it's a Hornchurch throw.
The sign, Noel Williams played alongside his brother there, John, at Cheshunt. Losing at Hornchurch. Hemel only a couple of minutes away from getting revenge over the team that slapped 4 past them in the early part of the season. Flicked on just behind Hearn, and Rowan again sweeping up for the Tudors. Campbell out jumps Josh Hare.
Hornchurch throw. Hare goes down the line. Jones gets it though. Weston forward, Hearn chases. It's going to go to Johnson now.
Ooh, Johnson just about gets there. Hearn charging like a ball. And he couldn't force an error from the experienced goalkeeper. Lomas done his best as well.
Johnson kicks it long. Phillips is there. Phillips looks for Ling at left back. Passes back to Gibbs, kicks it long.
Hornchurch will try and force these last moments of the game to be an absolute war. Josh Reese turns inside. can't get the ball under control fully. Jones can come away with it. Williams tries to return it. The young man Jones still full of running off the bench. Campbell as well. Nasta only clears it as far as Williams, and Noel Williams beaten by Phillips, not once but twice. Hare deals with it. Oh, Tuber's missed his head up. Dowrich sends it forward again.
Nesta throws long, throws it off. Hemel throw.
It's the story of Hornchurch's game, really. Josh Hare frustrated after that.
Yeah, it's patchy. Dowrich is going to take a throw for Hemel.
But this plays into Hemel's hands. They can't let the fact that they're 1-0 down get to their heads. They still need the belief, Hornchurch, because they can still try at least, at minimum, take a point from this game, which would be, well, important, seeing as Dorking are losing. Hearn from the pass from Alexander wins the throw-in.
Hornchurch on the attack.
Fans still believe. Does McMahon's team.
Sam Lang, long throw. Let's see if we can avoid just a clearance. Let's get Hornchurch head on it. Ball comes into the 6 yard. Bounces around. No one there to put it in. Ball comes out. Weston.
It's a congested penalty area. And Campbell lays it off to Jones. He's a bit behind him though. He won't mind. Campbell's in an offside position, but Weston helps out the defence. Any little break in play though will help Hemel out. Hornchurch itching to get the game underway again. Oh, and that pass from Gibbs was tight but precise. He reaches it again, the former Aveley captain. But he's disappointed with that ball, as you can see there.
Ball goes off. Hemel goal kick.
Well, these two sides have also met in cup competition in the FA Trophy 13 years ago. Hemel came out on top that day in 2013, and it looks like they're a couple of minutes away from coming out on top in the league.
Yeah, we're right at the end of this half. Hornchurch still 1 goal down. Johnson kicks. Campbell doesn't keep it on. It's a Hornchurch throw.
Well, Alan, we saw the team manage to come back from a worse position, one might say, against Slough 2 weeks ago. We just haven't really seen those chances being created here today, and there you go. Brief example, and Stanley can take control here. Looks like he's still a little bit of energy left in him. Stanley looks for the corner flag. Wires. Hornchurch managed to get bodies back, but Devante Stanley still going. Gets the ball in. It's a corner. Lovely work. Hornchurch have got to keep their heads and keep the ball out of the box.
Well, we're short on a football at the moment. Ball boys just got one back to us. We need this taken quickly. Which it won't be.
Did beat Hornchurch 3-1 last season. Doesn't look like they're going to score 3 goals unless something incredible happens. But they're only a couple of minutes away from a win at the Bridge to take back that 1-0 victory they suffered. So 1-0 defeat they suffered here last season. It's short. Jake Gray. Nasta's got to tip it over the bar. He wasn't sure. And it's take 2 from the same side.
Yep, another corner. Hemel are loving this. They can take some time off the clock. Williams walks over.
Not in any hurry. They would eclipse the amount of away wins they get from home. And again, another 1-0, just like they had last week.
Ball comes in. No one there. Jones retrieves right on the other side. And maintains possession. He comes into the box, headed away by Gibbs. Ajuba goes short. Reese kicks it long, looking for Alexander.
Dowrich, just anywhere will do for Hemel. Ling takes it down, concedes a foul, gets on with it. Josh Hare. Alexander, back to Hare, seconds ticking away. Hornchurch, a little bit desperate for that equaliser. Phillips sends it long. Hearn takes it down but can't get control of the ball. Noel Williams finds Jones, who again finds Noel Williams. He's only got Campbell ahead of him. And he's going to bust the gut for the corner. 4 minutes of added time.
4 minutes.
And a little bit of time being eked away as well as Hemel prepared 2 more changes. Oh, George Williams has worked hard this second half.
Yeah, he's been good. Good down the right. Yes, Sweaty Williams leaves the pitch.
Taking his time. Jake Gray as well has been a bit of a workhorse in midfield. Trey Cook, Appiah. May Campbell, the goal scorer. Looks like he's coming off as well. No.
Nesta, goal kick. There were 4 minutes added on. And Hornchurch have a free kick in their attacking half.
Well, this is it then. Hornchurch know what they have to do. They've got to send it in the box.
Everyone up. Josh Hare taking the free kick is the only person who's back for Hornchurch. Comes into the box, bouncing around. Nobody can get a foot on it.
Alexander with his back to goal just couldn't turn and have a shot at Johnson's goal. They reload again. Weston loses that to Cook Appiah. And Cook Appiah
here we go.
Is in. And he's got Campbell. Can he kill the game? Lovely save from Nasta. Jack Jones. And again from Nasta. Not yet. And it's over the bar. That was a chance to kill it. Dowrich. Well, 3 efforts there. Nasta keeping the Urchins in the game.
Off the Nesta show. Right.
And now it's Hornchurch's turn to try and attack. What a chance.
Hornchurch with a throw on the halfway.
Well, we should have squared it to Campbell potentially. That could have killed the game, and Allinson knows that. How costly could that be? Nice header from Stanley. Weston returns it back to Hare. Looks to send another ball in. Can Hornchurch grab one last chance rate? Sam Ling out wide. Weston. It's not a bad ball in. Hearn, it missed Hearn. It reached Alexander. And it didn't reach the back of the net.
Goal kick.
A display of defensive resilience from Hemel. And in truth, they could have killed the game as we've just seen.
Should have squared it to Campbell, shouldn't it, Chris? He took it on himself.
And this team, who are so solid defensively, heading for back-to-back clean sheets and 5 wins in a row. And they really are for real in this playoff race.
Ball goes off. Hornchurch throw near the halfway. We're well into the 4 minutes added on. There it goes down the line.
Hemel, who have made it 12 points out of a possible 12. It looks like it's going to be back-to-back defeats here at the bridge for McMahon. In it comes from Hare at the back post. Still alive. Cleared away well. How much time is left? Reese is going to lose out here to Noel Williams. Isaiah Noel Williams. Oh, just about played it through. Reese manages to get the ball. End-to-end stuff. Alexander lays it off to Rates, who's got a man coming behind him, and it's going to be a foul. No booking.
Arthur Nesta goes up.
Now or never.
Drama at the bridge. There's nobody in goal.
Well, Noel Williams maybe could have taken it to the corner. Again, the second time in a couple of minutes that Hemel could have killed this game off, really. Hare with Nasta up.
Do or die.
Amazing.
They're shouting.
Nasta's going to take this. Incredible. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a poor ball.
Yes!
What a win.
Come on!
What a win for Hemel. It's 2 clean sheets in a row. It's 2 defeats in a row here at the bridge for Hornchurch to potentially derail their promotion push and to potentially kickstart Hemel's 15 points out of a possible 15. An entertaining second half. Hemel survived and had chances of their own to kill the game off, but it finishes here. Hornchurch 0, Hemel Hempstead Town 1.